Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sunday night live stream for studentloanjustice.org. We are Student Loan Justice. We are the first, the oldest, the largest, and really the only true grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. That means two things. It means getting the right of bankruptcy returned to the loans. As unpleasant as bankruptcy is, the Constitution calls for it. The founders call for it in the Constitution. The head of the power to declare war and raise an army. And the violation of the wisdom of the founders uniquely for federal student loans lies at the core of this entire problem. Until we get the leverage of bankruptcy back, whether you would ever or never file is not important. Most people won't have to. We've got to get the right return in order for anything good to happen. We've been doing this for 18 years, guys. And if we've learned nothing, we've at least learned that. So we're glad you found us. Please just remember that whether you would ever or never file for bankruptcy, we got to get the right return. It's the most important thing, whatever you want to see happen with your student loans. The second thing we're fighting for, obviously, is the cancellation of not $10,000, not $20,000, cancellation of all federally owned student loans by executive order. Quite frankly, the entire lending system has catastrophically failed at this point. The lending system is finished by all rational metrics. It needs to be ended and replaced. But all that stuff starts with us getting the leverage of bankruptcy return, guys. The loans have been turned back on. The Department of Education is now accruing $300 million every single day. That's nearly $10 billion a month in interest, in profit. And this is for a lending system which, when it was rolled out in 1965, the president declared the loans would be free of interest. So we don't have to put up with this nonsense, guys. And if you're new to the group, we're glad you found us. Please spread the word about this group. We need you. The loans have been turned back on, and we still don't have the bankruptcy rights that exist for every other loan, every other borrower in the country. So tonight, a couple of announcements. I should lead with a plea for donations. I have to do it. So a very generous supporter of ours from Texas, Sophia, she has put up a $500 matching challenge to you all. I think we've gotten most, if not maybe even all of it finished, but I'm not sure. We're close. But just please donate if you would, guys. It would make our job just much, much easier. Just go there and just do it. We're getting very good press lately, guys. I did a live radio show in New York yesterday. 2 articles came out over the past few days, like late last week, in Erudera and also the Virginia Pilot Online. And thanks to everybody who stepped up to be interviewed, Christina Winton, others, for those 2 articles. Also, Michael Harcum in Pennsylvania did a 1-hour-long panel interview, a long-form interview with Kristen Welker of NBC News. And it was talking about the election, but both Michael and Samantha, and I'm not sure if Samantha's in our group or not, but if she is, hey, Samantha, thank you. Michael nailed it. He put student loans front and center in the discussion in that hour-long interview on NBC News, Kristen Welker. So Google it if I've given you enough information to find it. Hopefully so. If you can't find it, just come to our Facebook group and you can see it for yourself. Big ups on to Michael out there. So tonight, guys, I just want to talk to you about 5 easy things that you can do to actually help. You know, there's a lot of things that we can't control with the student loan problem. It's very hard to control what the media reports. Obviously, it's been very difficult to control what Congress does. There's a lot of things we can't control about this thing, guys. But, you know, there are some things that we, me and you, normal people, can control. There's stuff that we can do that actually helps, like actually tangibly helps us win this battle. And I'm going to take you through those here tonight. Let me share my screen here. By the way, if you have any questions or comments, and if I can see them on Facebook and or Twitter, throw them out, and I'm very happy to respond to them if I can see them. So I just made a stupid little list so that you can look at. I wanted to sear these things in your mind. The first thing that you can do is simply do our daily actions. And let me dial that in for you. If you look at the lower left of your screen, you can see a handy bit.ly link for the Student Loan Justice Daily Action. We do these daily actions nearly every day, probably 4 or 5 times a week. They help big time. You know, I said we're the largest group devoted to student loan justice, and that's true. We've got 1.5 million members across all of our platforms. That's our petition, our website, our email list, Facebook group, Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. That's a lot of people, guys. And I can tell you that if even 10% of the people on our group were doing our daily actions, this problem, the entire student loan problem, would be solved in a matter of weeks or months. So by far and away, the easiest, quickest, and these daily actions are very quick, by the way. You need a Twitter account, get a Twitter account. You can do a daily action in probably usually about 30 or 45 seconds. One day, daily action, less than a minute, usually. It's like retweet this, retweet that, easy stuff. Another thing, get us into a meeting with your House rep. I know it's a complicated issue, student loans. It's very hard to talk about, particularly if you're being hurt personally by your student loans. It can be very hard to speak intelligently on the subject. There's a lot of tough questions that come up. Sometimes they can be very hard to answer. We can answer all the tough questions. We need to meet with Congress. Congress is the body that's going to return bankruptcy to student loans. The president can do it, but really Congress has to do it. Most important thing, I mean, in many ways, guys, nothing else matters. It's us and Congress. So get us into a meeting with your House representative. You can Google "find my House rep" to find out who your House rep is. Call them on the phone. Do whatever it takes to get us into a meeting with them. We will, and bring us on. You can see at the bottom of the screen scrolling by, you can see our contact info. So call them and tell them that you would like to talk to them about student loans. Ideally, tell them that you'd like to meet with their judiciary staffer. Give them our contact info. Say that you want to bring us in. We will come on. I will come on, or one of our other leaders here, and we will do all the talking if we have to. You can do all the talking if you want. That's fine. But most people are a little more comfortable if we come in and answer all the tough questions. And we're very happy to do that, guys. I would love nothing more than to meet with every member, all 435 members of the House, and even all the senators, all 100 senators. We would love to do that. But that starts with you, because you're a constituent. We're not. You can make that meeting happen. We cannot. You got to make it happen. Bring us in, and we'll take it from there. Do that. Number 3, join your state chapter. So if you just go to our website, studentloanjustice.org, just go there and look, and you can see at the top of the page, state chapter group. Join your state chapter group. These are going to become more and more and more important as time goes on, particularly now that the loans have been turned back on and things are getting very real. We need you. All politics are local, as they say, and our state chapter groups need you. Many of them need leaders. So if you're inspired and passionate, and hopefully kind of intelligent would be good, but all you need is inspiration and passion to begin with. If you've got that, think about leading your state chapter. The fourth one, get a letter to the editor published in your local paper. Call for cancellation if you want. That's a tougher argument to make, but go for it if you want. But primarily, I would urge you strongly to call for the return of bankruptcy rights to student loans. And if you need any tips or pointers on that, you can read any number of our articles. But if you, and you can see at the lower left of the screen, I just changed that up. If you go to our Medium platform, studentloanjustice.medium.com, look for the article that says why returning bankruptcy is critical for solving the student loan problem, something like that. Just read that article, and you can get some very easy copy and paste type text that you can use for a letter to the editor of your local newspaper. You can also use Chat GPT, by the way. I know some of our people do that. That seems to be kind of helpful, but whatever. I leave it up to you. And the fifth thing, ladies and gentlemen, fifth and final thing, the catch-all, is just do whatever you think will help. Use your head. You're clever. You're creative. We've all been to college. We're hopefully not the dullest tool in the shed. Think for yourself. These are your loans, and this is your battle. And if you read a few of our Medium articles right there, and digest them, you'll be a very fine, fit, and fierce warrior. The argument that we're making is, I think, pretty easy to make. It's very strong. The argument for bankruptcy certainly is nuclear strong. So if you can make the argument, you can think of very clever and creative ways to get that message out there. So maybe the final thing I'll say tonight, guys, is don't do nothing. Do not do nothing. Don't sit there and wait and watch and worry, thinking that somebody else is going to pull your weight for you. That never works. That never happens. We've been around for 18 effing years, guys. I had only intended this student loan justice thing to be a 2-year project. But guys, we need your help. That's the only way this is going to get done. That's how democracy works. And as corny as it may sound, as unlikely as it may sound, your country actually needs you. Because think about it. If they can do to other loans what they've done to student loans, if they can weaponize other loans in this country like they've weaponized student loans, stripping us of our constitutional rights, stripping us of equal protection under the law, stripping us of our constitutionally enshrined bankruptcy rights, they will. I hear little whispers and murmurs all the time coming from Washington, D.C., talking about how they'd love to do something similar for medical debt, for credit card debt, for home loans, auto loans, small business loans, you name it. And Wall Street, the bankers, and even people in the federal government would love to have a predatory loan scam to run on the people for everything. So this is there's a lot riding on this fight, guys. And I know we on this group, maybe we don't seem like we're much, but this group is way more important than you might at first think. We are leading the fight. We are the national thought leader. We would not be talking about student loan cancellation by executive order, but for the people on this group, and in particular, our petition that we started way before anybody was talking about student loan cancellation by executive order, that all started on this group. We would not have, and we will not have, good bankruptcy protection, good bankruptcy legislation to fight for, but for the people on this group. And when I say the people on this group, I mean you. And so if you've been sitting and waiting and watching and worrying, that doesn't help you. It doesn't help the group. If you sit and you wait and you watch and you worry and you wonder, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What they are going to do is perpetuate this loan scam for the rest of your life. That's what they are going to do as long as you sit there and do nothing. That's the truest thing I'm going to say tonight. So I hope something that I said tonight has reached you guys. I'm trying to keep my live streams to like 15 minutes these days, just out of respect for the audience and our not quite so long attention spans. So just remember, guys, go back to that list. I'm going to bring it up one more time before I leave. Before I leave you here tonight. So let me just dial that in one more time. Just look at this list. Just do everything on this list, if you would, please. Once you get running in this battle, it becomes fun. It's cathartic. I sleep like a baby at night. This is a truly important fight. There is no other battle I can think of. I'm biased. There's no other battle that's more worthwhile fighting right now in this American life that I can think of than this. Speaking of This American Life, that's a show on NPR. Hopefully, one or more of our members will be featured on that show pretty soon. So, yeah, guys, you came to the right place. We got it going on. If you're new to the group, please spread the word about this group. Look at this list. Do this list. And you'll be glad that you did. And many, many, many people will owe you a ton of gratitude and congratulations. And thanks, I should say. They'll be very grateful for your working on this issue. So maybe not the sexiest thing in the world, guys. Maybe he's not going to, get you rich and famous. But guys, this is the battle worth fighting, particularly if you have student loans. So, okay, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Let's hit it. Let's get it. Let's get her done. Anything else that I can say to motivate you, because it's getting real and we need you. And you have no idea how important you, an individual, can be. This lending system is incredibly unstable at the moment. The whole thing is ready to collapse. And it could take only one person to make that perfect phone call, to have that perfect meeting with the senators, to write that perfect letter to the editor of your newspaper. It could take only one person to push that domino, which will finally enable us to win this battle. And we're fighting for more than just us, guys. There's a lot of people that are going to follow in our footsteps that we're fighting for. We don't have to put up with this nonsense, guys. Every generation has their fight. And apparently this is our generation's fight. When I say multiple generations, because our people span from, early 20 years old to late 80s or even 90 years old or older. So this is our country's fight right now. And I hope that you understand the significance of that. So, okay, guys, good luck. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This battle does not stop with the end of this live stream. It starts with you. Always has, always will. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck. God bless and Godspeed.